What's up, guys? My name is Roman. I have gynecomastia, and if you don't know what gyno is, it's just excess breast tissue in your chest, and a lot of guys get it going through puberty. It's usually caused in an imbalance in testosterone and estrogen whenever you go through puberty, or you can either get it through steroids, PEDs, because it's caused whenever you have that imbalance and your estrogen is higher than your testosterone. Your estrogen compared to this test is just higher, and everyone hates gyno. If you have gyno, you know how that feels. Gynecomastia. It soon became my biggest insecurity whenever I found out I had it in puberty. And for a lot of people, gyno comes, gyno goes. But for me, I kept it after puberty, and it soon became my biggest insecurity. It controlled how I viewed myself. It literally just made me self-conscious, like in my own body, in my own skin. I hated the person I was because of this tiny thing in my nipple that I couldn't control. The only way you can genuinely get rid of like the gland of gyno completely is through surgery, and if you don't know, that's like $6,000 to $10,000. And if you want to get it done cheaper, you got to go to a third world country and risk like scarring on your body because the incisions are bad and it's just not very good. Whatever, but gyno became my biggest insecurity, and it made me super self-conscious. And I know my gyno isn't very bad. It's about stage 1 to 2. It gets a lot worse than that. It can affect your entire chest. Some people have it a lot worse. I know that, but that doesn't invalidate my insecurity, because this little thing on your body that you just want to cut out yourself can affect the way you see yourself so much. And it's not only with gyno, it's with every insecurity, because you blow it up in your head and you see this as like such a flaw, something that you just absolutely despise and hate. And that's kind of just how insecurities are. There are these small things where from the outside, if you took off your shirt, most people probably wouldn't notice your gyno. It's something that you blow up in your head, you make it a lot worse than it is. And that's just like literally what insecurities are. And for gyno, for me, I got it in 8th grade. I didn't know what it was at first because there really wasn't a lot of information about it online. So I literally remember posting on my Snapchat story, "Yo, bro, does anybody know what this is?" I have this hard mass in my chest and in my nipples, and it's kind of making them puffy, and it really really hurts because if you don't know, whenever you first get gyno, it's super tender, it's super sensitive, and whenever you touch it, it hurts. Now gyno can't hurt or harm you, but it did back in the day whenever I first got it. And this one kid, shout out to you, Jackson, he slid up on my Snapchat story and he was like, "Yeah, bro, I get them all the time. They're nipple buddies." And these nipple buddies, bro, which I didn't even know that was gyno until like a year later, just affected me because whenever I took off my shirt in pool parties, whenever I was at like baseball practice and I just took off my shirt afterwards because I was hot or something, like people made fun of it. People called it out, and this insecurity of mine that I thought only I saw, it got blown up 10 times more whenever I realized it's a visual thing that almost everybody can see. So it got blew up, and it made me hate what I saw when I looked in the mirror. Obviously, I didn't have a good physique like I do now. I didn't build my physique back then because I was like a tiny prepubescent like 8th grader, but that's kind of what propelled me into working out. That's kind of what got me into the gym, is hating what I saw because I was skinny, one, and two, the gyno. Like I hated myself. I hated the way like what I looked like when I looked in the mirror because I saw skinny, I saw my gyno. And it's crazy how this small thing can make you only see this. Even now, it affects a lot of people, and it did for me for the longest time. If you build a physique and you grind and you spend years dieting, locking in on the gym, you can still only see a one body part, a specific thing on your body, even after you've worked hard and grinded for this thing. So I want you to know, I know exactly how that feels. If you have gyno, I know that it can really affect your confidence. It can really make you self-conscious because I was there. I was in your shoes where this little thing affected me 24/7 for almost 4 years of my life in high school. And I never like fully accepted it. I never fully embraced it and became confident with myself, my physique, what I've built until I did that. Until I like in my mind mentally said, "I accept this, bro." Because one, I kind of ruled out surgery. I didn't want to pay that much. I didn't want to get cut into. I didn't want to risk scarring on my body. And also, I kind of became like confident. I kind of like became understanding that this is my body. This happened. God gave me this for a reason. And I think that you have gyno for a reason, even if it's something that's not like technically natural. God gave this body for a reason. I think to develop characteristics, to develop these traits of where you have to persevere, even if you're getting made fun of. It makes you mentally stronger. Even if like you see yourself as littler, you smaller because you have this thing like gyno, you develop these things to where you mentally get stronger. So number one, whenever I learned to just embrace that, accept my gyno for what it was, I became a lot more confident with who I am, with what I've built, with my physique in general. And just kind of like in my own head, I kind of became okay with myself. I wasn't super self-conscious like I once was. I didn't see myself as just like smaller and like just belittled myself compared to everybody else because this stupid thing on my chest. What I did was I did something about it. I one, accepted it, and I built my physique. Because if you don't know, like I said with gyno, you can only fully get rid of the gland with surgery. But that doesn't mean there's not ways that you can reduce the appearance of it. You can actually possibly reduce reduce your gyno completely to get rid of it if you still are going through puberty. There's so much that you can do, and not a lot of people know about this because there's not information about it online. I had to go through this and experiment with this through years of trial and error, through years of crafting a workout program for this reason. I used to be very, very insecure about my gyno. And now I am not as insecure, and that's because I built my physique. I built certain muscle groups, certain body parts of my physique simply to reduce the appearance of my gyno. Because if you don't know, if you have gyno outside of puberty, you're kind of just stuck with it. There is some things that you can do to get rid of your gyno if you're going through puberty. I touched on that in a couple videos back on this page, but I literally worked out certain muscle groups. I created an illusion of my body, of my chest, of my shoulders, and my back to make it so that my gyno isn't as noticeable as it once was. And I remember because whenever I was on my peak bulk, whenever I was fat, I was overweight, my gyno poked a lot more. And that's just because it does when you're higher body fat. This is what I look like. It was really bad, I'm not gonna lie. It was at its worst. It like affected almost my whole entire chest at that point. But now, excuse me, you can't even really tell. And it only affects the puffiness of my nipples. And it's not the first thing that people see whenever I take my shirt off. And I did this by building my shoulders. If you don't know, building your broad, wide shoulders, it builds you a solid frame. The first thing people are going to see isn't the gyno. It's going to see your wide shoulders. Building a wide upper back, big lats, it's going to give you that V-taper look. It's going to create an illusion of your body that you just have a tighter and fuller chest. And actually building specifically your upper chest and on top of your chest, obviously. Your upper chest specifically is going to make your chest look more full. It's going to make it look like a shelf, so it's big, it's nice. And all these together is going to create an illusion to where the first thing people are going to see whenever they see your physique is a dope physique. They're not going to see the gyno no matter what you think in your head, no matter how much overthinking you do. They're going to see that you built good muscle. You built a good solid physique after years of training and dieting and doing the right thing and locking in. And I did this. And after I accepted it, after I embraced it for what it was, and I also built my physique in this way, and I literally built a workout program for guys with gyno because I understand and I know how insecure it can make you, how much it can affect your life. This little gland, this little thing in your chest, like I said, that seems small to other people. It seems little. Like other people are like, why are you insecure about that, bro? I didn't even notice that. Like it's just because you blow it up in your head, and that's how insecurities are, like I said. But if you want to check out the workout routine that I've been like literally spending years building, crafting, testing different workout splits, testing different workout like routines, exercises, actual movements to isolate your upper chest, build broad shoulders, spam lat raises, build that upper back, T-bar rows and pull-ups and lat pull-downs in a certain way like neutral grip. If you want this, I'll leave a link to that in my description. And it's literally meant for guys with gyno, for guys that just feel little, feel like not as much as a man because this small thing on their chest. I understand how that feels, like I said, after this whole entire video. I think you understand that I once was super insecure. Now I'm not insecure. I can proudly wear my shirt off at the pool, at the gym, because people aren't going to see my gyno. And if they do, and if they decide to make fun of me, if they decide to judge me in their head, that's completely on them, bro. And that's all because of themselves, how they see themselves. Maybe they're insecure. It's all completely in their hands and it has nothing to do with you. So that's why, one, I accepted it, and two, I built my physique for this exact reason. If you want to do this, you want to reduce the appearance of your gyno, if you want to completely get rid of your gyno if you're going through puberty so you don't keep it like I did, I have more videos on that. You can check them out on my page, or like I said, check out the workout program. It's literally called the Gyno Rebuild Workout Program because it rebuilds your body for guys with gyno. I'll leave that in a link in my description. Check it out. I love y'all boys. I know how it feels. I understand. I want to level with y'all and then kind of tell y'all that. But appreciate y'all watching, and I'm out. Peace.